Whew, need some water there. Welcome to today's cast of the Dota 2 Professional League, the secondary league here. We're starting off the day with a best of two between EHOME and LYG.Gaming. I'm your host, VTM, and before we jump into this draft, I just want to let you guys know the schedule for tonight. It's looking like it's going to be EHOME versus LYG right now. Later on, we're also going to be covering EHOME versus Rampage Gaming. After that, Rampage versus TOT, and then to end the night, I believe it's going to be Max versus Newbie Young. That's the path we're going to be taking tonight. I'm not joined by BSJ tonight. He's recovering from a bad sleep schedule, trying to fix himself up to be an average person, not a night owl like myself. So you're just going to have to deal with a little bit more solo casting. I'm going to do my best to keep it fun. I'm going to do my best to talk a little slower because yesterday some of you were saying I was talking a little fast. It's just because I've got so much that I want to say. Once again, I'm your host, VTM. So be sure to leave me some comments and stuff after this cast and stuff about how you think I can improve. Anyway, let's jump into this draft here. We have EHOME versus LYG. Yesterday we saw LYG go 1-1 against Rampage. Long G was playing out of his mind as that off laner. He did have a rough game that second game, but he still managed to keep in there. And now he's got himself a Slardar. This could be a position for Slardar, but very, very good off laner, can get a lot out of the lane, doesn't need much farm, can just sit there and sap experience and bug the enemy team and come away with a win, more so than other off laners who require a bit more gold in their pockets to be successful. But that Slardar Lifestealer combo there, regardless of whether that Slardar is in a core position or a support position, this Lifestealer, he's with his best buddy, his favorite taxi cab driver. Lifestealer and Slardar goes together like peas and carrots, salt and pepper, peanut butter and jelly, and an NA person and salt. I don't know. I was trying to make a Dota reference. But we might see the rest of the Lifestealer minus armor crew coming out, unless EHOME decides to ban one of those. When you already have the Slardar Lifestealer combo on the table, all right, they're getting rid of the Disruptor. LYG has played it a bit. It's very good, punishing poor positioning. Playing against that Slardar Lifestealer combo, if you go up against minus armor strats, the best thing to do is to just get people who have a lot of armor or who will get a lot of armor. So people like your Terror Blades, not as heavily threatened. But we do have the Kunkka Magnus pickup, a lot of wombo combo there for those team fights. One good RP into a ghost ship, and then bam, the fight could be turned in everyone's favor. So Warlock being grabbed for LYG. Gotta say, LYG's LYG. I don't know if it's an acronym or if it's supposed to be said LYG, but really emphatically, like EHOME. That's all caps. I don't know. LYG. Really excited. They have a lot of potential here with this. I'm thinking this is a 4-position Slardar, 5-position Warlock. I've been seeing lately that Chinese teams are totally fine with leaving Warlock dirt poor, like a beggar on the side of the street with only shoes, some naked boots, and maybe a wand. And that's good enough for them. All they need is that Fatal Bonds Golem, and then the Warlock can die, and that's no problem. But EHOME, realizing that there's going to be some danger, so they're grabbing themselves that Dazzle. Dazzle, fantastic with, as long as his positioning is good, he's fantastic at dealing with the crux of these team fight-oriented fights. You throw out that weave ahead of time. That's going to counteract a lot of that Slardar Corrosive Haze, right? Because then you get the armor on your side. That plus the Kunkka buff, from the Ghost Ship. And your team is tanky. And then it doesn't matter if there's a Warlock Golem out on the play. You could just survive through it. It's going to come down to if this Dazzle can stay on the back lines, but not too far away to where he gets picked off by, roaming Slardar Lifestealer. It's what LYG is going to be looking forward to. Hoping that this Dazzle plays too cautiously to the point where he's too far from his team. And then they can just pick him off and then engage the rest of the team, the rest of EHOME, before they can react.
Axe.
Ooh, so LYG grabbing the axe. You got to always assume that axe is going to come out when the Dazzle's there. Shallow Grave gets completely dumped on by axe. So that puts the nail in the coffin. That's a 4-position Slardar. PA being grabbed. There we go. 4-position Slardar, though, if the lane gets rough for axe, he can always just head to the jungle. Slardar can take over the lane and get some sort of, experience out of it that way. LYG don't have to completely abandon their off lane if it goes poorly. But I think their efforts are going to be focused on making sure that this Lifestealer has a good lane. The avenue that they go through that, whether it's, applying pressure on the enemy lanes or playing defensive and securing that lane for the Lifestealer, is really up to how the team plays, how they choose to do it. Generally, from what I've seen in the Chinese meta, you go through... Man, these teams are whipping through these picks and bans. In the Chinese meta, the teams tend to go more aggressive in the other lanes rather than being extremely defensive in their safe lane. So, EHOME grabbing the PA and Vengeful Spirit combo. That just makes the crits insanely strong. When mid-game comes around and that PA has, level 2 coup de grace, and the Vengeful Spirit has a couple levels in that Vengeance aura. Good lord, that hurts. So the crux of this is going to force... Ooh, a TA being picked up too there. This is going to force someone on LYG. Generally, you're not going to grab an MKB very quickly on that Lifestealer. That's going to be an item he's going to have to grab now. But you might want someone to get a Silver Edge at some point until that Lifestealer goes to that MKB. So those are 2 key items we're going to be looking forward to for LYG. Considering they don't have much magic damage here. They have Axe's Battle Hunger. It's fantastic, but it's not really as strong as it could be until he's level 25. Then it's like 1,400 magic damage. It's amazing for late game team fights. So mid-game matchup, we're going to have ourselves a... what is that, a mid-Kunkka? Offlane Kunkka. We'll see. For sure, though, Templar Assassin's in the mid. I can tell you that. That's an easy one to guess. Thankfully, we're not seeing any Monkey King today. I hate when that hero gets any sort of attention. I don't know, I'm pretty psyched. I mean, we have the Dazzle Vengeful Spirit minus Armor combo to counteract the Slardar TA. So it's really just a battle of attrition. Which team can corrode the enemy's armor down low enough to be able to annihilate them fast? On the bright side for EHOME, they have themselves that Dazzle, so they have that additional Weave. I get so psyched with this now. Look at all those beautiful cosmetics there. Alright, so jumping in this game, Instant Smoke. Gonna be heading off to go get some wards out. Mystery. Getting the all too common high ground rune ward in the enemy jungle. Good for vision. And Snowy going very, very deep. Grabbing the observer ward here. While EHOME, 4-man smoke up. Trying to run into the enemy jungle. They might get this broken. They see Snowy. Everyone's popped. They get the stun out onto him. He's caught into that torrent. They're all ripping him apart now. They get the poison touch. He's running for his life. Slitherine Crush was there, but he might not be able to stop the oncoming advance from the enemy team. We actually had an uphill miss chance from there. Snowy trying to dodge into the trees, wrapping around. Another Slitherine Crush. He's just trying to waste some time, maybe get some damage out. He knows he's dead, and there we are. JDH picking up that first blood. EMP. Wiggling around. It's looking like EHOME are gonna try to take his rune. They're not just instantly bailing, so... looks like it's gonna be, what, 3 runes for EHOME? 1 rune for LYG. EHOME very, very quickly trying to throw up early domination.
The battle begins.
Battling begins. Old Chicken getting that bounty rune on that Vengeful Spirit. It's always good to do that. Lanham. He's waiting. Oh, he finds Mystery. Mystery's running for his old life. His old man life. 5 more movement speed on this Kunkka. Faking out the torrents. Oh, Mystery juking and jiving. But with the Poison Touch, he is nice and slow. Actually forced the Shadow Word himself. Maybe if he can get to this tower, he can survive this. Snowy coming along the back line. Looks like he also wants to party. Level 1 Shadow Word, so good. This is turning into a safe lane axe here with EMP in the off lane. You know, Lifestealer does prefer this one-on-one matchup, even if it is against a Magnus with that Empower. That's not really going to harm him too much because he has that lifesteal. Looking into the stats real quick of this game, yesterday we had LYG. They're actually in 4th place now, tied for 4th place in this secondary league, just because there are 2 split games there. Both of the games they went 1-1. So a lot of defense on this axe. Really want to make sure that he has a decent game here, as he's phenomenal for dealing with this Phantom Assassin. You get a Blade Mail on him. As soon as the PA crits you, tears herself apart. As well as that counter Helix pure damage. Mid lane matchup, looking like CTY. Having a rough time here. He has some tangos in hand. But, yeah. This PA has a very, very rough time dealing with TA's refraction charges. And, yeah, the TA here just shredding through these enemy creeps, doing a lot of damage to CTY. He gets the deny. Great work there. Top lane. EMP's having a game. It's a pretty slow matchup there. They're both just focusing on getting themselves some farm. And it's actually Sen on that Magnus is taking the cake there for... he was taking the cake for top last hits. Not anymore. So Kunkka's here. Opting for Tidebringer and Torrent over the X-Torrent combo. So wanting to get a little dirty with this right-click damage. Dazzle's taking a good chunk of damage there. But he has a stick. Everything's fine with a stick. Snowy rotating top to help EMP just a little bit. Let's check back in on the mid lane here. TA low on mana, though the magic stick is giving a good chunk of mana back. CBTY spamming the crap out of that dagger, actually. Oh, this axe is already like so beefy just with the Shadow Word being able to be cast on him. Like, it is very, very hard for EHOME here to contest this axe. The fact that the Vengeful Spirit, though, second in the highest net worth, or last hits rather, it's a good sign. But tri-lane on tri-lane, well, it was, now it's dual lanes. Speaking of dual lanes, Dazzle being forced to TP mid in case he needs to help save this PA. Dazzle camp of the rune. Can he get it? Gets it. He's sitting on it. I just takes it. And let's see. Is he going to go for something? TA bottle crowing. What's this Dazzle doing? Just going behind enemy lines, taking their bounty rune. It's going to be pretty good. Pretty good move there. Bottom lane. Oh, group shower. Everyone's getting ready to join together. Get themselves some mana. Both teams are playing this a little cautious. It's the first game of the night for both DPL and for both of these teams, obviously. So they're just slowly testing the waters there. EHOME got away with a little cheeky smoke into the enemy jungle. And now they just don't need to push their luck. I do have to say, EHOME are doing a very good job at controlling the enemy jungle, making sure that they both contest pulls and do pulls of their own. They're forcing Snowy to have to sit here with LYG and Mystery, preventing the other lanes from getting too far ahead. Old Chicken, though, with that great stun, preventing Snowy from getting the Slithering Crush on him. We do have the Fatal Bonds on all three from EHOME, but that's only a level 1 Fatal Bonds, so they're not taking any extra damage from creeps, as long as... It's actually kind of a waste of mana there, Mystery. Maybe he was preemptively throwing it out in case the Axe got a call. Axe couldn't position himself right. Who knows? I do like the synergy there, though. You get a Fatal Bonds into a 3, 4, 5-man call, and that's an annihilated enemy team. As long as you can get some spins. You could get unlucky. Get no spins. Happens to me all the time. Bible Thump. Kunkka, almost a full wand. CTY's getting a little bit of space in his lane. This is great for him. With that bottle, he's going to be able to sit here comfortably, get himself up to those phase boots, and... My question is LYG going to go for a fast Blink Dagger, or is he going to try to pick up a Vanguard first? I believe LYG was one of the teams to run an Axe yesterday, if I remember correctly, and they did grab themselves the Vanguard first. The Axe did have a very slow pace after that. And considering this is a support Slardar, we need someone with a fast blink. So, it's going to be up to his discretion. Top. Sen has those arcane boots, pushing out the wave. And EMP. The Lifestealer hasn't been able to completely push out the enemy Magnus, but I mean, the last hit discrepancy between the two of them, with EMP having far more denies than Sven. Ooh. So with this Vengeful Spirit, this is their position 1 Vengeful Spirit in the off lane. I don't know how EHOME are intending on, like, what their win condition for this is. I guess they just want to, at a certain point, 5-man. Ooh, they get the stun. Torrent connects as well. All of this minus armor. Forcing the Axe to throw out the Berserker's Call. Snowy was there to crowd control, keep everyone on EHOME back. That would have been a dead Axe there. And that's an example of, I think, their plan. At some point soon, they're most likely just going to group up, take objectives that way. Oh, here comes the PA on the back line to clean up the kill. Big ol' crit ripping through that Axe. And with the haste rune, we'll just run away. Value rune. So the supports of EHOME, they're having a great time. I mean, usually in aggressive tri-lanes, you end up, if it isn't successful, you have like 2 very, very crippled supports who are dirt poor. Usually you have a team that is on the back lines as well. You know, they've invested so much in messing with the enemy, and yet it isn't very successful. So luckily for EHOME, they do have the knowledge to pull it off. They attempt to try to get this Axe. No Torrent, no luck. Top lane, EMP messing with Sen a little bit, gets the open wounds, a bit of harass damage, and now we're going to be creep cutting. More side pulls. Just trying to deny as much farm to LYG as possible. You want to delay that Blink Dagger as long as possible. Casual stun into a Torrent, but with a Shadow Word, it's not going to do anything. So EHOME takes a very, very minor lead coming out of this Or at this point, it's negligible at this point, I would say. About 1k extra gold, 200 extra gold on average for each hero. The biggest about to say, the biggest hard point for LYG here is the fact that their Warlock only has some boots in his pocket, and as I went to go check him out, he gets annihilated by this Phantom Assassin who has a double damage in pocket. Moving on to that Vlad's. TA's having a rough time, actually. Not applying as much pressure onto this Phantom Assassin as she could be. We have the TP in from Mystery. No big items here. Nothing too valuable. I mean, the man has 530 gold. And if this is the path that this Warlock is taking, this is already spelling a very, very painful toll for the side of LYG. Though, both their TA and their Lifestealer are having a great time. Snowy with a nice two-man Slitherine Crush. JDH trying to run for his life. Might be forced to throw. No grave necessary when the PA comes in and just crits everything. Oh, CTY going ham bone. Mystery slowed up by the dagger. Everyone's here. They're just beating him down. PA already hitting for over, what, 220 damage? Good lord. This is going to be a very, very fast tower taken. TA just going to try to very quickly push out this tower. EMP is going to have to reciprocate. Paying 3 heroes and losing a tower, you've got to do your best to get something out of it. But EHOME squadding up. Oof. This is painful. So, LYG, he's just retiring to the jungle. It's looking like, let's see, Russian a blink now. I feel like that's the case. The Warlock is saving up for that tome. 12 minutes in. 12 minutes in. Still level 4. Level 4 on both the supports of LYG here. So here's our smoke up. JDH going deep, deep into the towards the enemies. Just gonna grab that ward up there. No real smoke attempt at the moment. Though Lanham, he has that ship available. Ooh, Radiant Scan gonna reveal CTY just chilling here, waiting for bait. Oh, during all of this, Slardar hanging out just a little too far away from his tower. EMP staying safe, hanging behind this tower. Gonna just TP out very, very quickly, help defend bottom. That's a bad sign when you've got to take your position 1 and move him from being able to farm into actually defending structures. It's a bad sign for your team. Ooh, we might have TA grabbing. Can't do anything about this Dazzle Grave. Axe was there. If he would have had that blink, it definitely would have been a dead Dazzle, but I do think LYG, he's playing it fast and loose by leaving these Tranquils on the ground. You can't just throw them in the backpack, bring them out right like about 6 seconds before you finish the camp, and then they're on cooldown. So LYG keeping it old school, keeping it OG. Sen trying to clear out this wave, prevent as much tower damage as possible. He didn't get the siege creep. Now we got the siege creep. Oh, poor Mystery. He is level 6. Does have that chaotic offering. Dirt poor. This is position 6 gaming here. Old Lanham going for that drum. Lanham and his value Kunkka. Likes to get that Tidebringer maxed out. I've even seen him go back for armlets just to dish out even more Tidebringer damage. CTY. Ooh, actually skipped past that Vlad's, went right into the Desolator. Very, very fast Desolator. Both he and TA have that minus armor there. The core difference here is we have 4 heroes on the side of LYG, all clumped up here. I was going to say, while EHOME were splitting up the map, but instead, they're going to smoke up, they're going to run in, and they're going to get a kill. At least that's what I think. They could catch out Mystery. That'd be a valuable target. Prevents LYG from being able to really bring any follow-up fighting. LYG, they realize everyone's missing on the enemy team, so they clump up. We have the TA just throwing out those traps. Gonna be making EHOME's exit strategy very, very bad when Old Chicken slowed up. We have the drum just to help everyone run away a little bit. Sen was on the back line, waiting to RP if needed. He has that blink dagger. Oh. It's the old stand down. Warlock's ready to drop that golem. Those illusions. So hard for this TA to cut down. The Axe getting the one-man call. But there's Sen. He's ready. CTY coming in with a huge crits. Annihilates that Axe. There's that ghost ship coming through. EMP running off. CTY trying to chase him down. It's the battle of the carries. And that armlet helping him out a little bit. But down he falls as well. On top of that, the Sen, he drops. Magnus is no longer in this fight. Old Chicken running away. He drops as well. 2 for 3. Can JDH get out of here? CTY needs to bail as well. Snowy going in on the prowl. We get the slow. We get the... Ooh, the blink! Getting out of there. JDH cannot save his teammate. PA is a very squishy hero, so even if you only hit her half the time, you just got to do enough damage. JDH eviscerated. Here comes old Lanham with the torrent. Old Chicken's available as well. They're going to go for them. That Warlock. Ugh, old Lanham already dead. Now... Yep, TA's out of there, and Old Chicken getting chased down by this golem. It's about the timeout, so... Yep, no potential loss there. That was a fight and a half. I don't even know if it didn't even catch the whole fight. The second end there, looks like it was a victory for LYG. The first engagement was also, I believe, a strong, strong victory for LYG there. Yeah. That whole engagement there very, very quickly got rid of all of EHOME's lead. Now we have the experience in the favor of LYG as well. Surprisingly, actually, considering how much that they've grouped up. EMP has that pocket medallion going to be going into the Solar Crest. The value evasion. Also very good aggressive item. If he wants to one-on-one man fight with the PA. So Slardar just about has that blink. All these teams moving into very, very core items. It's interesting seeing the Lifestealer with the medallion rather than a support. It's looking like EMP just wants very, very fast, cheap damage. If the game does hit late game, it might be a little bit of a hindrance, the fact that he picked that up rather than building into a bigger item. We'll see how that works out. He does get the evasion, but gotta remember, that could be, you know, a component of an Assault Cuirass, which late game is a far more valuable item on a core hero such as him. Snowy dewarding. There's that rock being dropped. Sen was in a bad, bad spot. See TY in the center of this. Here comes that ghost ship. CTY still taking a bunch of damage. Old Chicken with the swap, trying to keep EMP in the center of this battle. Lanham getting that Tidebringer splashed all the way around. Old Chicken throwing out that wave of terror. That's 3 for 0 at this point, along with that golem. They almost catch themselves a TA as well. EHOME. Fantastic approach to that. As soon as they jumped into that fight, they scattered, made some space, and just surrounded the enemy team there. The way that they moved as a team was fantastic. They turned that engagement. They took it from looking like it's definitely not in their favor to very strongly in their favor. The TA is going to spot this Roshan being taken. But LYG can't do much about it. Now that this PA has himself Vlad's Deso Aegis, it's going to be a very, very painful time for LYG. Especially, the Venge is now going to start getting some Vengeance Aura soon. So it's really when those Phantom Assassin crits are going to be hitting hard. Warlock just about has that Ghost Scepter. I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, he's just hanging out in base, waiting. Now he's got it. Old Chicken and Company pushing this tower. Easy day. Mystery being the only one left behind, as the rest of his team is trying to take enemy tier 1s. EHOME realized the enemy's missing, so they go back to defend. They might be able to get a deny on this ranged. Yep, on this tower. There we go. Easy deny. Lanham taking that one. Snowy just waiting for someone to TP back to try to stop EMP from taking this tower. He has that blink. He's ready to crush some skulls. But the trap doesn't look like it's working out as EHOME's all grouped up together. Top. Never mind. CTY is back here. He's getting X'd back, though, just in case things go wrong. So he's there to push out the wave just a bit, and back he goes. It's pretty expensive for a quick wave clear. But Old Chicken and CTY together pushing this tier 2 as LYG are focusing to take the bottom lane tier 1. This is a pretty painful trade here, but I think it's a trade LYG have to take. They do not want to engage on this Aegis PA, and EHOME are realizing that, so it's looking like they're just getting ready. They're just pushing. They're going to try to force LYG to take this fight. Problem is, not all of EHOME is here, so if a fight starts now, it might be bad. Snowy skewered out there. The swap in. They take out that Slardar. That's going to be a lot of control wasted. Here comes the boat going in. Old Chicken falling very low, but he runs out. He gets graved. The Golem not really doing too much right here. That two-man RP. Great job. CTY with this Empower. Hitting so hard. Here we have a Shrine being used up. CTY jumping out. The Venge drops low. Old Lanham here. Also low. He does have that armlet, so could see some pro armlet toggles there. JDH might have to pay the price for his team. Wasting some time, and down he goes. 2 for 1. The Aegis was not expended. Will be down in 2 minutes here. Not exactly how EHOME wanted that fight to go. I feel like they needed to wait for the rest of their team to be there. There was a good 10 seconds there while it was a 4-on-5, and then it forced EHOME to react to the fight rather than, you know, setting up the fight the way that they wanted. The Phantom Assassin and Vengeful Spirit, they're both in the right position for laying down the smackdown on the enemy team, but they just didn't have the backup. EHOME weren't ready to actually commit to the strategy they had in mind. Lifestealer going for the Solar Crest and the Assault Cuirass. All of the minus armor that he can get. Speaking of minus armor, the TA has the Black King bar down to 9 seconds. With the Desolator going to be going into an Orchid, then Bloodthorn, I would imagine. Maybe not instant upgrade, but the Bloodthorn will be there at some point. Our old pal Warlock. Let's look at him. Ugh. Having a rough game. JDH working on the mech. A little late to start focusing on the mech, but 5 position support. Can't really ask for too much there. Considering Lanham here, he's rich. He is actually has more gold than the off-lane Magnus. Lanham can always find himself some farm. CTY, man moding up. throwing down the harassment. The enemy carry. So both teams... Ooh, there we are. Aegis has been reclaimed. The PA going for that Manta style. Could actually stop off. Pick up the ultimate orb. So here we have LYG actually taking the game back in their favor. We keep having this point where we look on the graphs. EHOME starts getting an advantage, they fail. Starts getting an advantage, they fail. So we could be slowly having this game tilt in the favor of LYG just because they just outlast the enemy team. So once again, Slardar and Fest Bomb at the ready. The Magnus opting for the Yules before the Force Staff, so wanting more control rather than maneuverability. Understandable, considering the only control EHOME really have are, you know, Magnus's RP and then the stun from the Venge. It's the only way that they're going to be locking one person into a certain place. Plus, you could set that up for the Kunkka Torrent. Good job. We have 2 smokes at the same time. Neither team has run into each other. Actually, we have the smokes popped. Old Chicken. Oh, Snowy getting ripped apart before he could do anything. We have the Chaotic Offering down. The Axe is there with his Blade Mail. Hoping that Sen will do something to him. CTY just slugging it out with the TA. We're trying to burn those refraction charges down. BKB is up. Oh. So LYG going to be using this opportunity to get out of here. Not much was lost in that fight, but LYG did lose their primary initiator. You lose that Slardar, you lose a lot of your utility in a fight, where that Slardar can weave in and out, keep getting those stuns off, keep controlling the enemy team, locking them down. So here we have, ooh, the old X push. Yeah, this TA would rather be split pushing right now, but you don't want to lose your racks. So now X is actually the Uber driver there for that Lifestealer. EHOME have just a short while left before Roche. Long G's doing some scouting. Sadly, I don't think he's been as impactful this game as he was yesterday in his games. Maybe he needs to warm up. Just not seeing the plays that we saw before. Wait, does the Venge... Both the Vengeful Spirit and the Kunkka each have themselves drums. EHOME not worried about the aura stacking, more so as the cheap stats. Venge going back for the Hurricane Pike. What other interesting items do we have here? The TA does have that Orchid now, going to be moving very, very quickly into that Bloodthorn. Mystery. I wonder what his next item's going to be. He needs... So he has the survivability of the Ghost Scepter. Maybe a Force Staff, I would imagine. Just to be able to get around... Oh, never mind. Straight Aghanims. So Mystery still understands his role in the fights is throw out a Golem, then you can die. No big deal. LYG are taking a very, very cautious approach to pushing these lanes. Finally, it looks like LYG, yes, they're taking that tier 1 tower bottom. They're not completely out of this fight. The TA is actually the richest hero in this game right now. While this PA has been running around with his team trying to get some kills, the TA has been farming, split pushing. CTY gonna keep clearing up these waves. Going into an MKB to deal with the Lifestealer's Solar Crest there. Snowy jumps in. They get themselves an old Lanham. Yep. Shredded. Did not take much to take him down there. This axe is really, really poor. Ooh, there's the swap. They get right into the stun, but with the blade mail, gonna help delay the fight until TA gets here. Axe using that call to get that spare armor. Yeah, at that point, one spare dagger could have really messed that axe up, so he had to use that call to get out of there. The rest of LYG, quick to react, save their buddy Long G. More scouting, they see that Roche is up, so EHOME know that they can take this whenever they want. There we are, there's the Bloodthorn on this TA. Valuable, valuable time. 8-second BKB, so it's not completely worthless yet. This might be LYG's time to shine. They were aware that EHOME were taking Roche. So they can just gear up. Get ready to prevent that. Lots of mass pings here, and yeah, the Roche going down. EHOME being very methodical with what they're doing. They're not just outright pushing. Look, they're even throwing down weaves just in case the enemy tries to engage on them. You know, they're not saving it for some big thing. They're taking everything a step at a time. You know, they're not being overly presumptuous, pushing without this Aegis. Sometimes I hate this camera when there's a whole big team that likes to just bounce around. Ooh, look at this smooth camera work here. Oh, c'est magnifique. Oh, c'est si bon. All right, so CTY with Aegis in hand, almost having an MKB. We'll just push this tower very quickly. There's all the tier 2s of the Radiant down during all this. TA gonna split push. Has that TP ready. Do a lot of damage to this tower, actually. And continue the push while CTY and company do a slow siege of this tower. They're waiting for the X's. The TA is back. So we get the Bloodthorn silence on the PA. The X, dagger dodge with the meld. They get the call. There's that. Yeah, it's a 2-man RP, but it's good enough. Sen taking a lot of damage here. Here we are, CTY in the center of this. The boat's gonna help take him up a bit. Sen running away for his dear life. We have TA and PA slugging it out. EMP running off on the back lines. He gets shredded as he tries armlet toggling. Now Kunkka so slow because of this upheaval. Mystery just chanting away. Lanham has been graved up. There's that Aegis being popped. Lanham gives up his life to try to lock down this TA. She goes meld. She dies. Snowy running away. We have the shrine being popped. Mystery's here. Takes one dagger, almost die. CTY just zoning out this TA, doing tons of damage. Doesn't matter if he's slow. Snowy with the Slitherine crush. But the return stun from Old Chicken. Ooh, can he get him? Takes him down. TA now focusing on this Old Chicken, but backs off. And we have the chicken dance. Oh, Old Chicken, you clown. Actually, I think Dota auto targets it. So it's looking like LYG are still trying to chase, still trying to harass. CTY doesn't have that empower at the moment, so isn't as deadly. 3,200 gold swing there, the side of EHOME. Oh man, so much back and forth. EHOME with a big swing now. Biggest lead they've had all game. They're actually pulling the experience back in their favor as well. Now that we have the Dazzle, actually. Dazzle is the lowest level. Has that mech, though. Honestly, I think... Well, Dazzle only really needs, like, level 6. After that point, ain't no thing. The PA has that MKB, the raw damage, that mini bash chance. Over 1 in 3 chance of mini bashing. This PA is going to hurt. 4K in pocket. But only level 22 here. I'm wondering if Roche we're going to see the agility or double stifling dagger. I would assume the dagger, considering how important these team fights are. TA grabbed the refraction instances over the respawn time. Kunkka here with the Shadow Blade. The old Lanham Kunkka. So, EHOME and company. Just gonna beat up this shrine. Easy 150. Mystery. He's 1,800 gold away from that Aghanims. It's gonna be a good time if LYG make it that far. We have the smoke. They catch out. Axe missing with the call there. TA on the back line, just taking out that Dazzle as fast as possible. The swap. Old Chicken could not save the Dazzle's life. There we are. The boat coming in. Sen grabbing it all. There's that chaotic offering. CTY in the center of this. Oh my lord. Snowy trying to get on the back line. EMP fighting old Lanham. The TA's also here. Lanham, can he get out? He cannot. CTY taking a lot of damage as well. CTY takes out that lifestealer there. Sven actually gets the credit for that kill. Great job, Sen. Borderline dying and gets out with invisibility. Both teams gain some gold there. And Ancient is defended. It's very, very late for this TA to go back for this Hurricane Pike. It's looking like he wanted to just maximize damage. And now, I think, old no-name here is just opting to, you know, you need some sort of maneuverability. You use that blink to get into the fight, and then what happens if you start getting locked down? You need that Hurricane Pike. Plus those unlimited rage hits. They're amazing. PA with 5.5k in pocket. Gonna be going for a Scotty. Axe gets that call, but very, very fast weave is out. Long G, ooh, in for way more than he bargained for. 2.4k crit. CTY hitting like a damn powerhouse. That was a big boy hit right there. Good lord. You know that has to be somewhat intimidating. Oh, great RP. Grabbing the very valuable TA and EMP there. Here comes the boat. Only really going to be used for the buff, but sometimes that's all you need. The upheaval making everyone slow. Mystery from way downtown, slowing everyone. TA traps also slowing. There's that Dragon Lance. CTY. You only get hit by 2 of them? 1 of them? He is very tanky, very strong right now. TA running on the back lines. There's that Ghost Scepter to help save Mystery's life. CTY might have been in a little bit more than he bargained for there. He's going to get out just fine. He actually gets 4-staff forward. He's just jumping all around. Axe with that 3-man call. Vengeful Spirit getting graved up. They're pulling the Axe away from the grave victim, so at least Old Chicken has a chance to shine. No, EMP says no to that. Snowy doing a great job bouncing in and out. Lanham already throwing out another ghost ship. He gets the rum buff, but that's not going to be enough to save his life, and that's a 3-for-1 there. EHOME having a bad time closing this game out. They just can't clinch it. So once again, back to our huge swing for EHOME there recently, and I believe that's going to start swinging way back. Yep. EHOME 3-2-2.5. I wouldn't even say it was EHOME 3-2-2ing. LYG are just doing a great job defending. Their early game was a little but EHOME's early game was also a little EMP raging up. Oh man, if CTY can get one more crit. Oh lord. The armlet toggle CTY. The Predator. Doesn't matter who's on the enemy team. He's hunting down. TA at this point, pretty much the only hero who can man mode the PA. And even then, TA might not survive. So now he's just about to get the Yules, so there's some control for him. Just about to have that Guardian Greaves for JDH. Dazzle's in a great spot. doing some scouting. Looking at these items. EMP finally going into that. Unless that's a rapier, I would say that's an MKB. Here we have the X push. TA's BKB is down to 5. This is when the game gets depressing. Ooh, Hurricane Pike used. And EHOME just backing off. Gonna wait. They're gonna check themselves a Roche. Roche is not up yet. Ooh, just shy of it. Just about there. There it is. It's a TA, they all know. Ooh, that hurts. They were like, what, 3 seconds off from checking? Go check again, JDH. I'm sure you guys have a hunch. There they are. They know. Do they? Yep, Sen. I think it was near max timer. They ping it out. EHOME know what they're doing. TA will also know. LYG, they can't really do too much to contest this Roche. Cheese is up. Old Chicken picking that up. Look at the gold discrepancies here. LYG, they're standing around. They're getting ready. They know what's coming. This is the calm before the storm. They just have to hold out. That's all they got to do. TA has to stay alive for this fight. Buyback's available here. And there we are. Snowy jumping in very quickly. On the other side, the Axe gets eviscerated. Snowy falls. 2 for 0 here. Godlike there for CTY. We get the weave as well. Nice defensive play. EHOME, they can recoup, get ready for their next push. And now that it's 3 on 5, it's slightly less scary. CTY getting X'd in, jumping, trying to take out that mystery on the back lines. Instead, he has to slug it out with EMP. He does so much damage. He gets X'd back before he could close the deal. The rest of EHOME here, pushing that tower. They aren't afraid of anything. TA not getting caught out. Oh, mystery, 1 dagger and I'm almost die. So the melee barracks has been taken. That's the money. That's the key. CTY and company deciding they're just focusing for melee racks, but all of LYG are up. EHOME might need to take a second, get themselves in order. But they're confident. They're not backing up. They're just going to wait for this next wave to push in, and then they do their thing. I actually really have to point out, Old Chicken's positioning has been very, very good. He's always keeping himself in a spot where he can either offensively swap or defensively swap. So doing a great, great job there. Sadly, Long G has had the same farm for like 20 minutes now. CTY is running in, getting a little bit of damage in. They get the call, but here comes the boat. Old Chicken doing the swap. CTY is brought back in. Snowy doing a good stun there. We have the cheese being eaten before Old Chicken falls. There's that RP. Big, big chunk there. CTY is getting graved up, actually. And Slardar shredded as well. The buyback from the TA. If the TA can't hold here, this might be GG. Going in on the back lines. CTY wanting a man mode up there. So that's 1 set of racks, 2 sets. During all of this, the dire creeps have been taking the last melee racks as well. Downfalls TA, that's GG. EHOME take game 1 here against LYG. And it's looking like Snowy not very happy with the outcome of this game. Good lord. All right, well, hope you all can stick around. I will be bringing you the next game extremely shortly, just pretty much as soon as it's up. So hang around. Thank you all for watching. I was your host, VTM. You can find me on Twitter at VTMDota. I would appreciate the follow. And if you have any tips for how I can get better, just leave them in chat. Anyway, I will be right back.